Have you ever had that gut feeling, questioning if something's right or wrong? Some call it intuition. Our next guest has harnessed her inner spiritual resources to better tune in to that sixth sense. Today, we're opening our minds to an enlightening discussion with Ebony Banks, an intuitive healer. Hello, Ebony.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk to you about this topic because I think this is something a lot of people have related to or felt. So people struggle to kind of recognize and utilize their intuition in daily life. How can we befriend our other intelligence and harness the power of our intuition?
Those are all very good questions. And, the road to really accessing your intuition starts with knowing that there are different levels of intuition, right? And it really depends on your relationship with yourself and how well and how honest you're being with yourself. Because the beautiful thing about intuition is, it's guidance. Right? It guides us to more information. And if we're not being honest with ourselves, then that guidance, cannot guide us.
So what would you say are your tips for recognizing your intuition and using it in your daily life? Because I've definitely had those feelings where I'm like, and then sometimes I like just push it aside, or sometimes I do kind of listen to
Yes,
it. So what would be your advice for that?
yes. And we all do that. And so the key is really about, being present with yourself. And when you are recognizing that you're having that moment where something feels a little off, or you're hearing a voice that is maybe not as loud as your thought, but you're still hearing it, to really kind of be present in that moment, pay attention to what is happening, and then allow yourself to just you know, invite calm, right?
Hmm.
Which you can do by doing like some deep breaths, but really it's about being present and like being still in that moment to see kind of what is attempting to be communicated to you.
I like that. Invite calm. And can you share a bit about
Yeah.
your own healing journey and how it inspired you to become an intuitive healer?
Yes. So I've been an intuitive person since I was a child. I was aware of my intuition since I was a child, although I didn't have the language for it. So I didn't call it intuition.
Hmm.
I just knew that I knew things other people didn't. Right. And so I was talking about the levels before. And so the way I experience intuition is kind of an advanced level. Right.
Hmm.
And so one way that, people can bring it into their daily life is to really start trusting ourselves more, right? And to stop second guessing things that we second guess all the time, like if you watered the plant, or if you took out the trash, or if you closed your garage, right? Like trusting that you did those things without having to second guess them is a good way. And you know. I'm sorry, I kind of am jumping all over the place, but I
All good
was
combo.
on this massive healing journey. I was on this massive healing journey, and I credit my intuition with my ability to heal myself,
Mm.
because I was guided to do all these things that I didn't even like, was not even interested in, but I listened to myself and I did them, and they became part of my life, which really helped me, heal myself and completely change my life. So that's really how I've gotten to this place where I want to share all those tools with other people.
Yeah, and you mentioned you were able to heal yourself. And when I think of healing, it's so beneficial when we're kind of going through those dark times as well. So, how can we find light in the darkness and use it as a catalyst for growth and
Mm.
transformation?
Definitely. Not judging it. I mean, being non-judgmental was highly effective for me, like just kind of not acknowledging things as good or bad, but just really being present with what was happening in my life and observing myself. And then, really allowing my intuition to guide me to like what the next step is. Because when we're having a difficult time and we judge it as bad, and we
Hmm.
kind of like push it away from us, we don't allow ourselves to receive the lesson in those experiences,
Yeah.
and to really have a greater understanding of why this thing is happening in our life in the first place. And so, the first
Yeah.
step I would say is to be non-judgmental about whatever is happening.
Well, Ebony, I'm going to find the calmness like you mentioned, and I'm going to listen to that intuition a lot more now, and I hope our viewers do too. And you can find out more about Ebony's work by going to ebonybanks.me.